Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our English news edition. Thank you for joining us. During a protest today against the City Hall project for constructing a playground at the Lake Park, the Democratic Party MPs began to tear down the perimeter fence around the construction site. The Democrats wanted to set up a tent inside the construction sites in order to occupy the space and hamper the work. The protest, which escalated into physical clashes, resulted in some injuries, including women. The injured were transported to a hospital where they received first aid. City Hall police officers, Tirana police officers, and the rapid intervention police officers arrested some protesters and were able to control the situation before it escalated further. There were several reactions to the DP protest against the playground. Tirana City Hall has reacted to the DP protest to hinder the constructions of the Lake Park playground, which escalated into a physical clash between the protesters and police officers. In a media announcement, City Hall says the DP protest is a hypocrisy and expressed determination to continue with the project. Tirana Mayor Veliaj visited the injured police officers in the hospital. He had this to say: MPs with immunity carry firearms and demonstrate violence. I will bring a lawsuit against those who are clashing with police officers with violence. The DP chairman also reacted to the protest, accusing the Prime Minister of aiding more concrete areas at the lake in violation of the law and constitution. He called for the prosecution to not be silent in respect to the lawsuits the Democratic Party has filed against the playground. The DP chairman went to the Tirana Police Directory, where he asked for the release of the Unit 5 DP chairman along with other protesters. A public debate was opened after the publication of a video showing MP Razimiri carrying a firearm during the protest. The Democratic Party Secretary General Erben Ristani considered the news to be media fraud, while when asked by Ora News whether he was armed or not, MP Razimiri did not deny or admit to having a gun during the protest. After the news publication that the Democratic MP against Razimiri carried a firearm to the protest at the lake, the Interior Ministry says that it has already sent a request to Parliament and to the Democratic MP asking him to hand the gun over to the police. According to the ministry, the MP was carrying a firearm based on a law that has been already repealed. The ministry stresses that according to the new law on firearms, enacted March 25, 2016, the weapon should have been handed over to the police department number 3 in the capital. You have been equipped with a firearm because of your duty, based on the law on firearms, which has been already repealed. You should have handed the firearm over by March 25, 2016 to the police department number 3, as you can no longer hold it, reads the letter the ministry sent to the Democratic MP on March 17 of this year. The EU Commissioner for Enlargement, Johannes Hahn, will visit Tirana on Wednesday. The EU Commissioner and Prime Minister Edi Rama will co-head a high-level meeting which will be held on Wednesday, March 30 at 11 a.m. Mr. Hahn is expected to analyze the progress Albania has made towards the priorities of strengthening the justice institutions, the fight against corruption, strengthening of public administration, and the protection of human rights. Even with the inclusion of the Venice Commission, Albania's political parties have not finalized the justice reform yet, and Albanian politicians are faced with difficulty in realizing the Commissioner's key priority, strengthening the justice institutions. Despite the progress so far, more work also needs to be done in the fight against organized crime. An official reaction will also be given on the legal initiatives towards resolving the property issues and compensations. This meeting will provide the opening for negotiations with the European Union in October. Commissioner Hahn will attend several meetings throughout the day. He will meet with the DP chairman, Lulzim Basha, to be familiarized with the opposition's concerns. The ambassadors of the EU countries in Tirana, and in the afternoon, Commissioner Hahn will attend a meeting with the foreign ministers of the Western Balkans in Durrës. The focus of the ministerial will be preparations for regional projects in the transport and energy sectors. Khalaf Ahmad Al Habtoor, listed by Forbes to be the richest Arab in the world and a renowned philanthropist, visited Tirana over the weekend. In a meeting with Assembly Speaker Ilir Meta, Habtoor marveled at the landscape and noted his admiration for Albanian nature. The founder of the powerful group of hotels, luxury cars, construction companies, education and publishing, Al Habtoor visited Albania to consider the possibility of investing in our country. President of Ora News, Ullin Droqi, received Khalaf Ahmad Al Habtoor at the Uldon Media Group complex, home of both Ora News and Channel 1. Thanks to generous investments, the complex has been completely transformed into the contemporary building it is. Mr. Ndroqi invited Al Habtoor to invest in Albania, expressing that it is a country with tremendous resources and energy and impressive religious coexistence. Al Habtoor responded by saying, "I would like to help your community and your country, which has an impressive hospitality." He went on to say, "I became rich in other countries and I can invest my wealth anywhere in the world, but I want to contribute here to increase the welfare of citizens. The panorama from the air was divine, but I also noticed that people here are angels." At the end of the visit, Al Habtoor vowed to return in Albania soon and invited Ndroqi to visit his companies in Dubai in the coming weeks. Tirana Mayor Veliaj inspected the work for the reconstruction of Kindergarten 20 in Tirana. The mayor declared that City Hall aims to transform it into a dignified environment for children. Mr. Veliaj announced that City Hall will be reconstructing kindergartens around the city, along with their human resources. The mayor further declared that City Hall has adopted 11 neighborhoods where playgrounds will be constructed. That's the end of our edition for this evening. Thanks again for watching. Please join us again at 6 p.m. tomorrow for more news in English. Thanks and good night.